Hey dreamers, how are you? Just got back from work. It's what is it? Friday? Is it Thursday or Friday? It's Friday. Okay. Holy crap! I always lose track of my days. That's been a consistent thing ever since I've become a tattoo artist. I don't know if that says anything, but hi, how are you? Welcome back to another Patreon appreciation video where I go ahead and read off the names of all the lovely patrons in the $15 tier and above, and then also rave about how much I appreciate all of you collectively, of course. So let's go ahead. This is for the month of February. Wow, it's freaking February already. Let's see. We're gonna start off with Miss Veronica. Next we have Jedi Ferret. Thank you. Jen, thank you. Raylene, thank you. Robin, thank you. Stella, thank you. Andini, thank you. Arabella, thank you. Ashley, thank you. Caroline, thank you. Sierra, thank you. Gabriella, thank you. Let's see, Holloway, I think, or Holloway. Thank you. We have Carolyn, thank you. Kari, love that name, thank you so much. Let's see, we have Kevin, thank you so much, Kevin. Kirsten, thank you. We have Lacey, thank you. Leslie, thank you. Matthew, thank you. Megan, thank you. Therame, thank you very much. Troy, thank you. Oh, Miss Kiana, thank you. It looks like Japanese characters, I think. SXing 987. Thank you. And yeah, actually, yep, that's the end of the $15. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I would I would make an attempt to read all the $5 ones, but there are so freaking many of you. Holy shit. Yo, like seriously, there's just so many of you in the $5 tier. Like it blows me away every time I look at it. It's actually crazy. But there, as I look through these, there are a lot of repeat names. Those of you that have been around for a very, very long time. And yeah, so huge thank you to everybody, old and new. All of the legendary supporters from like year one all the way till anybody that's literally just joined today or yesterday. I actually just got an email like a couple minutes ago of somebody who just joined. Who was that? I'll give you a special thank you. And actually, funny enough, maybe some of you have heard me say this before. But I get an email every time somebody becomes a patron, and whenever I get that email, I always verbally say thank you, and then I say thanks, and then whatever your name is, like out loud, like if I'm throwing it up into the universe and hoping that the message reaches you. Yeah, so I got an email today. I got a brand new patron, Thomas. Thank you for joining. And Jesper, thank you for joining. Thank you. You guys are absolutely amazing. Yeah. you all of you, literally, the entire pudding pack are some of the most patient bunch of individuals that I have ever come into contact with. Like the level of patience that you guys have with me is unlike anything I've ever experienced. But seriously, yeah, I have to laugh about it because like I don't know how to uh, like process it. Like even after, and we're coming up on I think 7 years now. 7 years now that I've been on YouTube and like making content. 7 years, and it still blows me away. It still blows me away, and the fact that like the amount of support that I have right now is actually baffling. It's actually baffling. Like back when I guess maybe one could argue that my channel was like on the rise, like booming, like just getting like tons and tons and tons of subscribers. Probably around my like what 60,000 mark or something like that. I had nowhere near the amount of support on Patreon that I do now, which is absolutely just amazing. I am actually speechless because I don't know how. But all I can really say is that I recognize how absolutely amazing all of you are for being so patient with me. I said when this sound thing started that it was going to kind of maybe rant a little bit, because I'm in such a weird place right now. It's so freaking weird. Because I'll just try to talk about it like simply or just straight, I guess. So I'm having an issue right now where I love tattooing. I love it. It's fun. It's amazing. As a method of expressing myself artistically, it's pretty fun. But there are a lot of things that taint it for me. And one of the main things is the fact that it keeps me away from you guys in a way. And I don't have an explanation for exactly how. Like it just does. Like it's my day job. Where maybe when I was in school, and I would go to school for a couple of hours of the day, and then I'd have the rest of the day for me. YouTube had more of a I guess day job kind of role in my life. So, I had more time and energy for it. I can think about role plays. I can get costumes together and go out and shoot videos and, all kinds of fun stuff like that. Whereas like ever since I started pursuing tattooing, and it's funny because I set my life up to be this way. Thinking that, everything would be pretty simple, my day job would be tattooing. I tattoo from such and such time to such and such time, and then that'd be it. I turn my brain off from tattooing, and then I go home, and then it's just like boom, okay, cool, streaming and YouTubing and all that stuff. But then I didn't really think that through, because then I forgot about, okay, well, I gotta hit the gym, I gotta keep that going, I gotta get proper rest, I gotta have time to actually draw up my tattoos and whatever else that may happen in the course of a day that's not that doesn't involve YouTube, and it's not anything that I thought it was gonna be like. And I guess I don't know, just lately I've come to terms with maybe it's not a good fit for how I thought it would go. Like maybe it just doesn't mesh well, right? And so going back to the fact that, I love tattooing. It's great. It's wonderful. But it's not my main passion. Funny enough. And going back to, showing my appreciation to you guys, you and appreciating how patient you are with me, and the fact that you have allowed me the opportunity and the chance to go pursue this. Perhaps there would have been some other roundabout way that I would be able to, work some job or save up some money to pursue tattooing or whatever. But literally, like, just the way that it worked out these past 3 years, like, you guys have literally allowed me to do this. And it's just, it blows my mind. Sorry if my thoughts don't really mesh well together, because it's kind of hard to actually verbalize this. Because, it's that situation where you've worked up to this goal and you've pursued this goal, and then once you get there, it's not quite what you thought it was. That doesn't mean it's like the end of the world. It doesn't mean like it's necessarily like a super bad thing, because it's not. It's just not the lifestyle that you thought how things were going to go. It just isn't the way that you thought it was going to be. And so I have to decide now, like, am I okay with that? What do I want to do? What do I want my life to actually be like? Now that I have some experience with how things are, and maybe it's a little bit tainted because of COVID, right? Because things are kind of weird right now, especially like at my day job, where the influx of work isn't always there. Like, it's very sparse. Obviously, people are appropriately spending their money where they should be, bills and food and the things that are important. Tattooing isn't like, it's not a necessity at all, and that's not unexpected. Like, I went into that knowing that, or I pursued this career knowing that. Like, I'm pursuing a trade of some sort that's not really a necessity. Like, the world will spin and turn just fine, without my profession, and that's fine. That's cool. But I have to decide if, do I want to pursue this for the next 10 years? Do I want to? What do I want to do? Because the one thing that I don't want to compromise on is YouTube. Like, this is my baby. This YouTube channel is my baby. I grew it, and with the help of you, it's gotten to where it is. And I genuinely, like to the bottom of my core, like, enjoy what I provide in this medium. And so, with tattooing, it's a fun, creative medium that I can express myself in. It's cool, that's all fine and dandy, but it doesn't have the same pull that this does, if that makes sense. Like, I genuinely get satisfaction as I'm like talking in a microphone, like talking to you guys, and like there's just something about it that like just connects with me. It clicks. And so lately, I've been wondering, what would, because I haven't done this in the entire set. I think that's the point that I was trying to get to earlier, was the fact that in the entire 7 years that I've been doing this, I haven't gone full-time content creator. It's always been like a part-time thing, or just like a hobby. Perhaps at one point, I had thought about making it like a full-time job, but then, like, I think that's when the so-called adpocalypse happened back on YouTube. Oh God, what year was that? 2017, 2016, or something like that. And so that's when that happened, and so that kind of killed the idea of this being kind of a business where, like, I would have like an LLC and make it kind of official that way. and so it remained a hobby. And that's obviously around the time where I decided that, okay, cool, well, I'm going to continue pursuing tattooing and make that my day job and blah 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 blah, and everything will just kind of work out. But it's not. It's not working out. And so it's weird. It's weird because of COVID and the past like year and a half, I don't feel like I've been able to, how do I word that, properly experience life as a tattooer, or not even like life as a tattooer, but like what my life would be like in this career field. I'm entering my 4th year now. I've completed 3 full years as a tattoo artist. Well, 2 technically, officially, 1 is an apprentice. And I'm still a baby. I mean, I literally call myself that. I'm still a baby tattooer. And I don't know what the next year or 2 or even 3 is going to look like with COVID around, with all these restrictions, with people, kind of maybe not feeling as creative as they could be, because everybody's just limited on funds and all that, and again, rightfully so. That's to be expected. And while I've had the opportunity to do some really neat, fun tattoo ideas and stuff like that, the majority of the stuff that I do isn't really, and this goes along with me not not being so fully invested into tattooing, or at least as much as I thought I would be, is because like 90% of the work that I do isn't that creatively interesting to me. And that's a day job, right? Like you work to work and you get your paycheck and you go home, but like that's not the lifestyle that I've been trying to set myself up for. I made this like verbal goal with myself, or mental, or astral goal with myself to after leaving the military, to fight tooth and nail, or whatever that phrase or saying is, to fight with everything that I have to create a lifestyle for myself that where I'm doing stuff that I want to do. Somehow, some way, even if I have to live out of my car, to be happy doing what I want to do. And again, while this current career field is fun, it has its fun moments. I can't help but fall into a little bit of that kind of rut where it's just like, oh my God, I'm just getting asked to do the same basic design that I've done 50 times already. And I'm a very persuasive person, which is a funny thing, funny side note, that some of my coworkers have expressed to me that, like, holy shit, dude, you can convince some people into some like other stuff. Like some people come to me with like, some basic tattoo design, and I will somehow, some way, miraculously convince them to not do that and to do something, really, creative, or something else that's just a little bit more interesting than what they came in with. And that's always a fun experience. That's always great. Being able to give somebody something better than what they thought they would get, right? They somebody would come in, they'll have this like kind of basic idea, basic design, or basic idea in their mind of what their tattoo would look like. And then I give them something 10 times better, right? Like that's always a great scenario, but that doesn't always happen. That's like the 10% of the time, in this job. And while for most other tattoo artists, they just have to kind of suck that up and just take that for what it is, right? Until they get to a point where people are coming to them for their designs, their custom designs, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not particularly in that boat, I don't feel. because I'm not just a tattoo artist. I am more than that. I have other things that I do. I have other income sources. I have other jobs that I could do. I have other opportunities just kind of waiting there in the background that I could completely pursue and exceed in. And I was having this thought the other day that, man, imagine, right? Imagine where I am right now as far as like YouTube and Patreon and how much support that I'm getting right now. Imagine if I was doing twice as much with YouTube and Patreon if I, just set aside tattooing and just went full-time content creator, and I could easily offset whatever I was not making with tattooing. And I would be doing stuff that like I'm actually having fun with. Doing things on my terms. 100%. Like, imagine. Like, I have to sit here and like, holy shit, like that would be so much fun. But there's this like scary hurdle that I feel like is there. Like there's this hurdle, there's this wall that is kind of scary when you make that decision to go full-time content creator, because it's like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? What if this or what if that? But I have to wonder, I mean, I never let that stop me before. I never let that stop me pursue tattooing. I never let that stop me do anything else. Like that's just who I am. If I want to go do something, I go fucking do it. Because not only for my own sake, but because I want to inspire others and prove to others that like, yeah, you could do that. Right? Like, of course you can. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like whatever, obviously. Like, I mean, it could be, but, you always want to kind of temper your expectations so that way you're not like hit in the face with the worst scenario. You always want to try to be somewhat prepared to take the brunt of any kind of unfortunate circumstances, right? Because that's just life, right? You get a nice balance of good and not so good fortune. So yeah, so there's this. I'm in such an interesting place right now where, and I'm looking at the clock. It's 1:11 right now. For those of you that like numbers, it's 1:11. But I'm in this interesting position right now where there's a part of me that really just wants to say, okay, you know what? I've done this tattooing thing for a couple years now. I've tried it out. I've had some fun. But it's not quite, satisfying my needs, for what I want out of life. And so I'm okay with moving on right now. There's a part of me that is saying that currently. That's like, you know what? I'm going to wrap things up, wrap up whatever appointments I have, wrap up whatever projects I'm working on and close it there and be like, okay, you know what? This just isn't for me. Or it is, it is for me in some respects, but I'm happy with what I've done with it and I'm okay with moving on. There's a part of me that feels that way. And I guess in some ways that same part is also like, cool, I kind of want to see what full-time content creator looks like. What full-time YouTuber, streamer, pudding looks like. What does that look like? Again, I can only imagine, with where things are right now currently. Again, because you guys are some of the most patient individuals with me right now. If I could give you my 100% time and energy, how could I fail, right? I don't think I could. I don't think there's a scenario there where I mean, things could only get better from where we are right now. Again, because you guys are so patient with me. And, you know, with the current support that I have right now, because of you guys, I'm able to pay my bills. I'm able to pay my bills and, like, you know, have a little bit of extra for food and whatnot. And that's great. I couldn't ask for more, right? Like, that's all I need out of life. Especially now, right? With our current circumstances. I mean, you can't really do anything anyway. So all I need is to be able to pay my bills and have the time and energy to be able to go work out, you know, so I could look good and feel good on camera. And you know, give you guys some eye candy, especially for the kind of content that I want to create. Like, I mean, there's no other way to put it. Like, at least for how I want to present it, it requires me to look and feel a certain way on camera. That's just the way it is, right? Like, yeah, of course, you know, you should have body positivity and accept, you know, and love yourself for who you are. But I always encourage that, like, if you don't feel comfortable in your body, change it, you know, like, do what you got to do, train hard, you know, eat right, do what you got to do, like, do what you got to do to feel better, right? And get to that point, because, you know, I think everybody is capable in some way, shape or form to do that. But going back to my needs, right? Like, all I need is to just be able to pay my bills and have the time to be able to go work out and then have time to create content. And that's it. And I would be the most happy, like that, because that's all I want. That's literally all I want. And I mean, another reason why I pursued tattooing is because, you know, it would be a fun day job to have that would supplement my income and allow me to pay my bills, and, you know, which would hopefully allow me the mental bandwidth to create content and do all that. You know, that's what I thought, how I thought things would go. But I didn't realize how much energy draining tattooing is. I didn't account for that. That, like, hey, holy shit, you know, creatively, like, tattooing is intense, man. It is so intense. You know, you're stuck there sitting all day, like, hunched over. You gotta, like, turn some, like, crazy mess of a design concept that somebody brings you and turn it into something that is worthy of your artwork, you know? And I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing, right? Like, maybe I care too much about that, you know? Like, I'm sure there's plenty of tattoo artists out there that don't give a fuck. They just put you in the chair and scribble something on you and send you on your way. And, you know, and maybe that's fine, right? Like, they give you a decent tattoo and send you on your way and not even care about it at all. You know, they don't care to put the extra flavor that I like to put on things that I make. I mean, because it is my work, right? Like, that's my stamp. It's permanently on you. Even if it's not a design of my own, like, it's still my work that you're walking around with. And, like, man, it takes a lot out of me having to fight with, you know, how much effort do I put into this tattoo? How much do I care about it? You know, this is, you know, especially if it's not a design that I made or something like that, or, you know, something that's not my style, but I still got to do it because I got to pay bills. I got to, you know, make sure that my shop has money so that it can continue running, so that I could continue working there. Like, there's so many, you know, variables and factors in there that I didn't account for. But again, I love tattooing. It's fun. It's a fun job for somebody who is 100% dedicated to just being that. And that's not me. That's not me. I am a jack of all trades, or of many trades. I like being able to have a toolkit of many different tools, many different abilities, many different skills that I can use. And sometimes, you know, you got to put tools on the shelf for a while because you're not working on a certain project anymore. You know, the quote unquote project. That being like a metaphor in this case, not an actual project, but you know, it's just a metaphor. So some, you know, I don't know. It's been a thought on my mind. This is a long way of saying that it's been a thought on my mind that like maybe I might not be a tattoo artist for much longer because I'm not happy that it's taken me away from doing this. Because this right here, you know, talking into microphone, talking to you guys, bringing forth inspiration and ideas and thought-provoking, hopefully thought-provoking solutions to help you in your own life. Like that is, you know, helping other people in this format is actually what makes me happy. I have such a connection to this. And it's not the kind of connection where, like, for example, say, you know, you've invested 10 years of your life playing World of Warcraft or something like that. You know, so you have this like pseudo connection with these like characters that you've spent so much time gearing up and playing over the years, and you know, you made so many memories, you know, in a guild with, you know, playing with friends and whatnot. Like, it's not that kind of thing, that kind of connection where I just feel invested because I've just been doing it for so long. Like, it's not that kind of thing. Like, it's a genuine connection that, like, I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't quite, like, put words to it. But it's much stronger than, or it's the kind of connection that I could literally stop everything else that I'm doing and just do this. And I'm kind of at that point. Where I mean, I could literally just do it. I could just say, yeah, like, you know what, you know, thank you for the opportunities, for letting me work here and there and all that. But I'm going to move on to a different career field and just do that. The only thing that's stopping me is this other part of me that doesn't feel like, how do I word that? Like, I don't feel like I like there's still some like unfinished business in a way. Like, that's the only way I could put it. Again, because of COVID, because of like the weird situation, like I haven't been able to give this new, you know, this new area that I'm in, because I moved here to Kentucky, you know, for a new tattoo shop, new job, new opportunities to you know, a fresh new clientele to tattoo with new ideas and stuff that they might have, you know, because like everywhere you go, everybody has like different types of like styles and things that they're interested in, and so it's a new opportunity to tattoo new things and learn more. And I don't feel like I've quite had the chance or opportunity to do that. I got a little taste when I first moved out here to Kentucky last summer. Back when like there weren't so much crazy COVID restrictions, it was just wear a mask, just wear a mask, and that was it. You know, all the bars were still open. There was just, you know, clients just in and out. You know, tons of money to be made. But I guess that doesn't even really matter, because regardless, I mean, and if things were like that, where there was just a crap ton of work, right? Tons of people coming in for tattoos, you know, doing, my days would be filled doing, you know, fun tattoos or whatever. I would just be super busy. But that would make my current situation even worse then, right? Because then I would have even less time for you guys. And I would hate that. as much as I would like having, you know, a lot of money in my pocket, because of tattooing. And of course, you know, money is an issue, up to a certain point for me personally. Like I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be like, you know, I don't need to, like, I only need money to pay my bills, to just make sure my bills are covered. That's literally all I care about money for. Just to make sure that my roof is over my head and that's paid for, and like I could afford to like eat and, you know, pay for like whatever little bills, right? Like that's all I fucking care about money for. So yeah, God, that would be even worse. Maybe I should be thanking COVID, right? For allowing me to really think about, like, okay, well, how much do I care about, you know, making money as a tattoo artist? Like, does that really matter to me? And I mean, it doesn't. I wouldn't be making money to help the thing that I really care about, which is this. It wouldn't be helping anything. It would be making things worse. And of course, you know, I mean, I don't know. I've kind of been thinking about this over time, but like, it's been pinging. It's been on my radar, or you know, the blip on my radar has becoming bigger and bigger lately, and it's kind of unfortunate that that's been happening, because what's coming up soon is, you know, what would normally be what we call tax season, where, you know, people start getting their tax money back, and that's when tons of people are trying to get tattooed. So it's like Christmas for us, basically, as tattooers, because then it's like, oh sweet, hell yeah, there's tons of work, you know, people are more than or they're a little less frugal with money, so they're more open to getting bigger pieces, you know, getting more intricate designs, and you know, it's just kind of like ballet that clients play with tattoo artists. It's an interesting thing, but it's funny that you know, I'm having these thoughts of, like, you know, I guess to put it bluntly, just, you know, quitting and moving on, really, from tattooing, right when tax season is about to hit. Like, of course, right? Of course the universe lines that up, right? And I mean, I don't blame the universe, right? Like, what better way to really throw it in my face, like, hey, like, dude, what do you want? What do you actually want? And I mean, realistically, it's funny. Like, I technically don't even really need to be having this conversation, or like even be saying any of this, because I already know what I want. I've always known what I want. I'm just, and those of you that have been around for a while, if you're still listening to all of this, those of you that have known me for some time, or you know, I say know me, but you know, you only know, I guess, what I kind of tell you. But those of you that have been around for a while, it can surmise, you know, that, like, I'm kind of stubborn in a way, where if I say I'm going to do something, especially if it's like a you know, a goal of mine, if I like set a goal to do something, I'm going to freaking do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pursue it, and I'm going to, like, see it out till as long as I can, as long as necessary, or whatever, till I reach the goal, or whatever. I try to, I do everything that I'm so stubborn, like, I will see out that idea, and complete it, and then I move on to the next idea, or the next thing. But I have to pursue that. So, like, even if I know that something isn't going to work out, or maybe that there, you know, there's some doubts there, I still have to see that thing through, you know. Um, and maybe stubborn isn't the right word. Maybe that's just like, persistent towards my goals or whatever. Like just goal driven. Like if I said I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna fucking do it. And, and that gets me into trouble sometimes. Especially with my last relationship. I don't have I told this story before, like openly? I don't know. But here's a fun side story. So like my last relationship, I think I've told this story before, maybe. Well, anyway, my last relationship that I was in, this was like back in 2014. It's been a while. I've been single for a very long time. It's just me being a workaholic and moving around a lot. Like if I'm moving a lot, I won't get into a relationship just because like it's just not convenient to anybody. I don't want to put somebody else in that position. And I hate long distance. But anyway, so my last relationship back when I was in like college lasted about a year. And it shouldn't have. I knew about maybe 2 to 3 months in, maybe 3 to 4 months in, that things probably weren't going to work out. But because I'm a little bit stubborn and because I wanted to, test myself. I mean, like, I don't like to like move on from something or like just give up like without trying to see if maybe things aren't working out because it's a me thing, right? Like maybe there's just some lesson that I need to learn or whatever. Like maybe I'm being unreasonable for, whatever the situation is that's causing me to question whether I should keep doing the relationship or not. But in that relationship, like I would say like 3 or 4 months in, I kind of had an idea that like things probably weren't going to work out. But I had to see it through. I had to give it a fair shot. I guess. Oh yeah. I guess that's the best way to put that. Giving things a fair shot. Give it the old college try. And so I did. Then about like a year later, things didn't end well. Well, we just moved on from each other. Really, that was it. Really wasn't hard feelings or anything like that. But we were just, personality-wise, just very different. But yeah, so that's kind of just how I am. I try to, if I say I'm going to do something, I try my best to do it and see it through. And sometimes that gets in the way of other things. Sometimes that puts other things on hold, and that's just the way it is. Anyway, that's just a long way of saying I love you guys. I honestly do. And please, some people get it confused. It's not the like relationship kind of love. It's like a friend love, Like I love you guys all as friends. And I appreciate you honestly for everything. Because like I said, you've allowed me to be able to afford to see this out, to see my goal out and give it a good try and see it out to a point where I can make an informed decision of whether I want to keep pursuing it or move on to something else. And I want to deeply and sincerely thank you for that. Again, I hope all of you have gotten this far in the video. It's like 40 something minutes long. Holy fuck. God, I hope every one of you have gotten to this point. But seriously, I deeply and sincerely want to say thank you for being patient. I could cry just saying this next thing, but I honestly I hate not being here for you. Like I hate that I don't feel confident enough to get on camera to just shoot a quick little 5-10 minute video. Because that's not hard. It's not hard to just turn on the camera and just make something. But like, it's just not me. Like I don't like to half-ass things. I don't like to do it. But I am kind of disappointed in myself because And I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but like so you know, I've had an issue with wanting to be on camera lately, just like the past couple months or whatever. I could have just been making audio only content. Like this whole fucking time. Like I'm so fucking pissed off at myself that like I didn't just think of like, wait, I could just make. I mean, you guys are familiar with the fact that I make both video and non-video content, and you enjoy it either way. It doesn't matter, right? Like obviously you enjoy camera content more, but if not, like that's fine. You're still getting something. I could have just been making like audio only content this whole time, like in the meantime, till I feel comfortable getting back on camera. I don't know why I just now thought of that. But you see what I mean? Like how tattooing, like it takes so much like brain bandwidth from like everything. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. This whole time I could have just been doing that. But so I am going to be doing that going forward. I hate making schedules and lists, but I actually sat myself down and, well, I didn't do the sitting down. I was actually at the gym on the treadmill, and I did this, but I made a new schedule for myself, like an actual schedule of like, giving myself these couple of days for doing this kind of content, a couple of days of the week to do this other kind of content, scheduling out each hour when I wake up, when I go to bed, really optimizing because for as much as I optimize like my artwork and everything else that I do, I don't know how it's so hard for me to optimize a schedule or to follow a schedule. Like what the fuck? Like I guess that's the great balance of the universe, right? Like you're so good at some things, but then like, the polar opposite of it, like you're just fucking horrible at. So I took some time to figure out how I can, at least for now, until I do wrap things up as a tattoo artist, until that time, because I don't know when that time's going to be. It could be soon. It could be tomorrow. But until then, I've devised a new schedule that will allow me to allocate a different allocate each day towards a different creative endeavor that I have at the moment, whether that's 3D modeling, streaming, YouTube, tattooing, of course. Like everything's scheduled out in a very logical way. So I'm starting that next week, and that will mean weekly videos coming back, monthly exclusive spicy videos coming back, and and then once I decide when to finally wrap things up as a tattoo artist, because I think at this point it's gonna happen at some point. I just don't know when, but it's gonna happen. And I'm okay with it. I'm if you've been listening this long and didn't understand that, but like I'm okay with wrapping up being a tattoo artist. Like I'm okay. I felt accomplished enough. Just the fact that I even completed an apprenticeship and tattooed anybody in the first place. Like I feel accomplished enough, to be able to be like, okay, I gave it a good shot. Cool. I can move on. Like I feel good enough to do that. So, but yeah, so at some point, whenever that does happen, I'm confident that you guys are going to be there for me, and I'm going to be there for you even more, or to the degree that I've been wanting to be there for you. Again, over the 7 years that I've been doing this, like, fuck, I can finally like just do this and really have the time and energy and everything available to dedicate to make this exactly how I want it. And really optimize it like how I optimize everything else in my life. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about it. But yeah, thank you to all the patrons. Again, I hope everybody's like gotten this far. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me rant. Thank you for hearing my thoughts. I hope that maybe some of the things that I've said gives you some food for thought as well. And maybe you're in a similar position. I don't know. If you want, leave a comment or send a message to me if you want to about this video. You can share your thoughts with me, and I'll reply. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being patient. Because like the last thing I want to do is let you guys down. The last thing I want to do is just, fade away into nothing. Like fuck that. Fuck that. Like I'm motherfucking pudding. Like this is a thing. Like this is my thing, and I want to continue doing it because it makes me happy. So thank you. That's all I can really say. Thank you for being there for me. I hope you guys enjoy the new stuff when it does come out. Like I said, it'll probably be a little bit of audio only stuff just until I get back to feeling comfortable to being on camera again. And then it'll just build up and compound from there. Hell yeah. All right. I'm gonna go. Again, thank you for listening. I love you. I hope you take care. And as always, keep dreaming.